What we're going to do is we're going to divide polynomials using long division. Before we get into the polynomials, what I want to do is just look at a regular long division problem. We're going to be dividing 23,456 by 11. Now, when we're looking at this, what we're going to do is we're going to take, since 11 is a two-digit number, we're going to look at our first two-digit number and see how many times does 11 go into 23. And we would say 2. So what we do is we go 2 times 11 is 22, and then we subtract, and we get 1. We bring down the 4. Now, let's look at the polynomials, and we're going to do that same first step. What we're going to do is we're going to take the x plus 3, and we're going to divide the x cubed plus 12x squared plus 47x minus 60. We're going to see how many times does x plus 3 go into x cubed plus 12x squared. Our focus is always going to be the x. So how many times does x go into x cubed? And that would be x squared times. X squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 3 is 3x squared. Then what we do is we subtract it. When we subtract it, the first term should always cancel if we're doing it correctly. 12x squared minus 3x squared gives us 9x squared. Then we bring down the 47x. Let's look back at our original problem. 11 goes into 14 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. And we subtract. That gives us 3. We bring down the 5. So in the same way, we see how many times does x go into 9x squared, and that would be 9x times. 9x times x is 9x squared. 9x times 3 gives us 27. Then what we do is we subtract. The x squareds cancel, and 47x minus 27x is 20x. And then we bring down the 60. We're going to continue with our original problem. 11 goes into 35 3 times. 3 times 11 is 33. We get 2. We bring down the 6. 11 goes into 26 2 times. That gives us 22. Our remainder is 4. So what we do is we put 4 over 11. Now, when we're looking at the polynomial, what we're going to do is we're going to see how many times does x go into 20x, which would be 20. And that would be 20x. 20 times 3 gives us 60. We subtract. The x's cancel. We get negative 120. So we go minus 120. Since that's a remainder, there's nothing else, over x plus 3. And that right there is long division. Now, looking at letter B is a little bit different because when we're looking at it, we see x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared. Notice that we're missing an x. We need to replace that x. So when we divide this, what we're going to do is we're going to write down the x to the fourth, the 8x cubed plus 16x squared plus 0x minus 19. If ever you're missing a term, you need to put in that term with a 0 and then whatever the x is, whether it's 0x squared, 0x to the third. So now we're going to go x goes into x to the fourth, x cubed times x is x to the fourth, x cubed times negative 5 is negative 5x cubed. We subtract, it cancels, we get negative 3x cubed. We bring down the 16x squared. X goes into negative 3x cubed, negative 3x squared times. Negative 3x squared times x is negative 3x cubed. Negative 3x squared times negative 5 gives us positive 15x squared. And then what we do is we subtract. First terms cancel. We get x squared. We bring down the 0x. X goes into x squared. X times x is x squared. Notice that the first terms are always canceling. X times -5 is -5x. When we subtract it, we get -5x. And then we bring down the -19. X goes into -5. -5 times -5 times x is -5x. -5 times -5 is positive 25. Then what we do is we subtract. Oops, that was a positive 5 because I subtracted it. So it means this is a positive, and this is a positive, and this is a negative. Sorry about that. So a negative and negative make a positive. That's a positive 25. These cancel, and what we get is 6. So that would be plus 6 over, and then x minus 5. So let's look at the next ones. We're going to take the x minus 6, and we're going to divide the 2x to the third minus 20x squared plus 56x minus 46. X goes into 2x cubed, 2x squared times 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x squared times -6 is -12x squared. So what we're going to do is subtract, and that gives us -8x squared. First one's cancel again. We bring down the 56x. X goes into -8x squared, -8x times. -8x times x is -8x squared. -8x times -6 gives us positive 48x. We're going to subtract. First terms cancel. What we get is 8x and then minus 46. X goes into 8x 8 times. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times -6 is -48. We subtract. First terms once again cancel. This becomes a positive, so we get a 2. And that gives us plus. And then what we have is 2 over x minus 6. Looking at our last one, we're going to take the x minus 7. 8x cubed minus 49x squared minus 45x minus 36. X goes into 8x cubed. 8x squared times 8x squared times x is 8x cubed. 8x squared minus 7 is negative 56x. We subtract. First terms once again cancel. This becomes 7x. And then we bring down the 45x. 8x squared times x, x goes into 7x squared 7x times. 7x times x, 7x squared. 7x times -7, -49x. We subtract. That gives us 4x minus 36. X goes into 4x 4 times. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 7 is -28. We subtract, and that gives us -8. So we put -8 over x minus 7.